There's so many exercises that I find get overlooked, and they're so simple. Our bodies, again, are meant to move so much, and yet we don't tend to move them. As we age, our muscles get weaker. If we don't pay attention to them, we're going to have difficulties as we age with possible injuries, tightnesses, weaknesses that are going to affect our overall functioning. One of those simple exercises and one of those big muscle groups that we forget about a lot is your calf. So, your calf muscle, its main function is to lift your heel off the ground. Now, why that's important is because when we're walking, we have to do that constantly. Every time we take a step, we're pushing off to let the foot come through and land on the other side. So our calf muscles are working all the time, but just because you're walking around doesn't mean they get stronger. So a simple exercise to do for your calves to strengthen them is just a heel raise. Now, if you don't have a lot of strength, you can do both legs together. And I'm going to show you a couple of reasons of why this exercise is not effective for a lot of people. So when you just do a regular calf raise, as soon as you raise up, you're using both legs together. It's a lot easier than when you're doing a single leg. Single leg builds a lot more strength, and a single leg calf raise, you're also going to notice a difference in the amount of strength you might have from one leg to the other. And that's very common. So the goal is to try to strengthen it by working on them more and more. So when you do a double calf raise, you're trying to go straight up towards the ceiling. What most people do, and most people will need to hold on somewhere, to a wall, to a counter, to a table, anything is fine, a chair. But what you're trying to do is not lean on that to go up. And this is often what most people do, is they lean onto something in front of them, a wall off to the side, and they're using their hands to do all the work, and they're leaning their body in. So when you lean your body in, you can do this all day long, and it's not really being very effective because you're not getting a lot of strength out of your calves. You're using your body weight to really take most of it off. So the goal is to go straight up towards the ceiling this way. As soon as I keep my body over top of my ankles and feet and stay in a good alignment, that's where I'm going to get the calf to actually activate, and that's where it becomes a much more challenging exercise. The problem is most of our bodies want to compensate. They want to make it easier. So our lives are all about making things easier. When our muscles have to work easier, they're not as effective, they're not getting stronger. So when things are easier, doesn't mean it's better. In this case, you want to feel the effort in the calf muscle. I feel this way more than when I go and lean in just this little bit. Just that little change of position can be a big effect on the muscle. Another simple exercise to work on your feet and ankles is also raising your toes up. And that works on the front of your shin, your anterior tibialis muscle, which helps you lift your foot off the floor. Again, as we age, this is something that a lot of people will lose the strength to do, and it becomes difficult when they're walking to actually pick their foot up off the floor when they're walking, and therefore they're taking a smaller step, barely getting the foot to bend, and they sometimes will catch their toes or trip as they're getting older, losing mobility, losing strength. So these are things that are very easy to do. You can do them anywhere, and when you're doing these, same idea. You're trying to just pick the toes up. Nothing else changed in my alignment. Most people, again, they're going to hold on for some balance, which is fine. But what they do is they tend to lean back this way because the toes aren't going to come up a whole lot. So they feel like if they lean back, they're doing a much better job. The problem is as soon as we do that, it becomes a hip exercise and not a calf or ankle exercise. So you want to stand up nice and tall, pick both feet up together if you want. You can do single leg as well and just lift the one up, much more difficult. That's why doing them both together is usually a lot more helpful. But I would recommend do them both together for the calf raises, then try single leg calf raise and do the same for toe raises together and do them individually. Make sure you have good form.